What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to build this resume website from start to finish with Python and Django. Alright guys, in the last video we built this website with Node and JavaScript. In this video we're going to build it with Python and Django. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out Codemy.com where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee of just $27, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so this website, if you watched the last video, you're familiar with this website. If not and you're interested, go back and watch it. Like I said, we built it with Node and JavaScript. Throughout this whole series, we're just going to build this website over and over again with different web technologies. And in this video, we're going to do Python and Django. So this is a very basic website. This is not supposed to be a complicated website. This is just a one-page website, very basic resume template. We're going to actually download and use a free template for this. So we don't have to do any HTML or CSS. We just need to tweak the actual page itself to enter in our own information, add our own image. Other than that, it's very simple. And that's cool because these days you use templates for everything. And if you don't like this template, you want to build some other website, go use a different template. You'll know after watching this video how to use templates, right? So it doesn't matter what template you use. You can buy one, you can get them cheap, 10 bucks, 20 bucks. You can use free ones, whatever you want you can use. The point of this video though is we're going to build it with Python and Django. So we're going to build it from start to finish. We're going to actually post it online. We're going to have our own domain name. You can see up here I've got elderresume.com. I'll show you how to set all that up for free. We're going to be using Heroku as our web hosting. So Heroku has a free tier. It's super slow, right? But it's free. So if you want to use Heroku and you don't want it to be quite as slow, you can pay, $7 a month or whatever to make it a little faster. But I'll leave that to you. For us, we're just going to use the free tier because we're more interested in how to get it up to Heroku, how to get it up to web hosting versus like using really, really good web hosting because that's easy to scale at Heroku just by pressing a button. If you want faster, you can pay for it. So anyway, this is the template we're going to use. Like I said, very simple, one little image, some text. It's just a resume. My thinking is if you're a coder, you may be looking for a job. Coders should really have their own website with at least their resume on it. And here's a good little start. So first off, head over to codemy.com/template. And when you do, it will redirect to this free template that I found. Here's the website address. And we could just come right here and click download this thing and save this anywhere. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. And I'm on Firefox, so downloads are up here in the corner. If you're on Chrome, it's going to be down here in the corner. Whatever browser you're using, open this file. Now, this is a zip file. It's all zipped together, so we need to unzip it, uncompress it. So let's go ahead and click this. And let me pull this over. And here it is. Now, you want to look around for the extract button. And I'm on Windows, so the extract is, let's see, what am I looking at? Right here, extract all. You may have to right click on it on the file and click extract all, whatever, just however you need to do it. Go ahead and unzip this guy. So let's do that. And when we do, this little box pops up. It says, where do we want to save this? I'm just going to save it on my desktop again. So go ahead and extract that. And then here it is. So these are the files, right? There's this headshot sort of template image. There's the index.html page, and there's a simple style.css sheet. So very simple template. Not much to it, which is good for our purposes because we just want to build some, easy little website. So, all right, I'm going to put this aside. You can delete the original zip file if you want or whatever. But for now, I'm just going to sort of, well, actually, if we click on this, you can see this is the actual website. So it's got a black background. We'll change that. Here's a little image. I don't know what color this is. Orange, maybe. Kind of looks orange. I'm going to change that color. And you can see just very basic sort of thing. If we hit reload, you can see it fades in very slowly. We'll tweak that because I don't care for that so much. And very cool. So let's go ahead and close that. So now let's talk for a minute about the tools that we're going to need. So this is Python. This is Django. We are obviously going to need a few things, specifically Python. And we'll also need a text editor, something to write our code in. We'll need some sort of terminal. So I'll talk about those in just a second. For now, I'm just going to type Python into Google here. And here we see python.org. This is the official website for Python. and you want to come down to downloads and just download the latest version. We're on version 3.7.4, but it doesn't matter if this changes by the time you watch this video. Just download whatever it is. Now, I'm not going to do this because I've got 100 videos on my channel showing how to install Python. We're going to download it to our computer. We're going to click the button. We're going to click it when it downloads. We're going to run the installation wizard. The only thing you need to worry about is on the very first screen, there's a checkbox at the bottom that says add Python to path. Make sure that's checked. It's unchecked by default. And if you don't check it, you're going to have all kinds of problems. So make sure you check that box and then just follow along. So that's Python. Next, we need a text editor. So I like the Sublime Text editor. So I'm going to type in Sublime Text, go to sublimetext.com. And download for Windows. This is available Windows, Linux, Macs, whatever you got. And we're on version 3, build 3211. Doesn't matter if those numbers change. Again, just download this. I'm not going to do it in this video. You can find other videos of mine that shows how to install this. Very simple installation. Just take the defaults. Finally, we need a terminal, and I like the Git Bash terminal. Now, if you're on Mac or Linux, they come with a terminal you can use. Just go up the little search function and search for terminal. It'll pop up, and you can definitely use that. For us, I like this one right here. It is git-scm.com/downloads, and it's available for Mac or Linux. So if you're on a Mac or Linux, you could use this, but you really don't have to. This is gonna act very similar to the one that's on your Mac or Linux already. So just go ahead and use that one. So download this one. This takes a little while to download. It's not a big file, but it's a very slow website. So download and install it. Again, if you can't figure it out, I've got videos on my channel. You can go searching. But the thing about this is it has a lot of screens for the installation, a lot of things to check. So you just want to check all the defaults for everything. Just take the defaults for everything. It's going to ask you what text editor you're using. You don't even have to fill that out. Just keep clicking next on all the screens, and it'll install. So to run this, go to your Windows Start menu, type in git or git bash, like so. It's GITBASH. It'll pop right up. And this is what it looks like. It's just a basic terminal. This is what our Sublime Text looks like. And we're ready to go. So we've installed Python, apparently. So now let's come to our terminal, and we need to create a directory where we're going to house all of our project files for this project. So let's go mkdir, stands for make directory, and I'm going to put this in the C drive, and I'm going to call it Django resume. Call it anything you want, it really doesn't matter. So now let's move into that directory. So cd, change directory, into Django resume. And if we hit ls, there's nothing in this directory yet. So, okay, now we need a virtual environment. And I should mention before we get into this, I'm not going to talk about Python or Django in great detail in this course. I'm just going to fly through this and build this thing. I'm not going to explain really what I'm doing as I go along. If you're interested in learning Django, if this is your first Django sort of rodeo, you may not be able to keep up. You might be able to, we'll see. But if you want to learn Django in more detail, check out my website, codemy.com. I've got 6 or 7 courses on Django that go into it in great detail if you really want to learn that stuff. So the first thing we need to do is set up our virtual environment. Django always uses virtual environments. So I'm going to go pip install virtual env. I've already got it, so it doesn't do anything. Yours will install. So now let's set up our virtual environment. So I'm going to go python-m venv, and I'm going to call my virtual environment venv. Now if we type in ls, we can see there it is. So now let's actually turn this thing on. So let's go source venv scripts activate. Okay, and so we see this little venv guy, so we know it's been turned on. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create, well, actually we need to install Django first of all. So we're in our virtual environment now, so let's just go pip. Actually, first let's go PIPP Freeze to see there's nothing installed. There's no Python things installed here. So now let's go pip install Django. We just want the latest version of Django, so we just type Django. We don't have to specify a version. It'll download the latest version. Okay, so now let's create our Django project. So django-admin.py, start project. And what do we want to call this? Let's just call it Django resume. So now let's clear the screen. We see this Django resume directory. So let's cd into it. And there's our manage.py file. So that looks good. So now the first thing you always want to do is migrate your database Now, normally we would create a super user, but we're not going to do any database stuff this time. So I'm just going to sort of migrate our database. And since we're using git bash, we need to use the command winpty, and then it's just python manage.py, and then migrate. All right, so that seems to work. So let's run the server real quick. Python manage.py, run server. Okay, so that's going. Let's check it in our web browser here. So we want to go to localhost :8000. That's the port it runs on. And we get this little screen. So Django has been installed and everything's great. So let's go to our Sublime Text and let's add all this stuff. So go to project, add folder to project. We want to go to our C drive, find our Django resume folder, then the Django resume folder inside of that, highlight it, click it once, create select folder, and boom, it pops up. So we have our settings.py file, our urls.py file. Okay, so we're good to go here. Now we need to create a new app inside this project, as we always do with new Python. So I'm going to hit Control-C to break out of our server, clear the screen. All right, so let's go python manage.py, and then we want start app. And what do we want to call this? Let's call it resume site, whatever. Okay, so if we go back to our Sublime Text, we now have this resume site directory. Inside of here, we need a new file, and let's file save as, and call this urls.py. And I'm going to go to our original urls.py file and just, first off, I'm going to get rid of all these comments because they're stupid. Save this, and let's copy all this, go to our new urls.py file, and we don't need to import admin, so I'll get rid of that. And we don't need this, so I'll get rid of that. And let's go ahead and save this. Okay, so we need to make one more change to our urls.py file. So as well as path, we need to include. And then down here, we need to add in our new urls.py file that we just created in our other directory. And to do that, we just go path, and then there we go. And we need to include, that's this guy up here that we just added, right? Include, and then a comma, and then inside of here, what we need to include is the name of this directory, resume site. So resume site dot urls. Okay, so if we save this, we should be good to go there. Finally, in our new urls.py file, we need to include, so let's go from this directory, import views, and save that. We don't have any URLs yet. We'll get right to that. So last sort of configuration change, we need to go to our original directory here in our settings.py file. And then down here in installed apps, we need to add this app we just created, which is called resume site. Save that. Okay. So now close that. Okay, so let's add in our template file. So let's go to resume site and right click and create a new folder, and let's call this templates. And inside of this, let's create a new file, and let's go up to file, save as, and I'm just gonna pull up our templates that we extracted earlier. I'm just gonna grab the index and I'm gonna pull it in there and then click cancel. And when we do, okay, that pops up. Now we need to add our CSS files and our image files. So go up to the very top here and right click and create a new folder, and we want to call this static. And then inside of here, we want a new folder called CSS, and we want another new folder called images. And for the CSS, let's right click and create a new file. And again, go to file, save as, just to open a dialog box. It's just easiest. And let's drag this in and click cancel. And we can close that. All right, so that's there. And same thing for images. Let's create a new file, go to file, save as, and let's pull in our headshot and click cancel. Okay, so those are all there. So now we need to make this usable, at least from the templates. Now we've got this index.html. I'm going to rename this to home.html just because I like home as my sort of index page. Do whatever you want. But in our views.py file, let's create a view for this page. So let's go define home. We want to pass in request. And then we want to return a render, which is this guy up here, right? And we want to render a request, and we want it to go to home.html. And let's just pass in an empty context variable. So save that. Now we need to go to our urls.py file and add a URL. So let's go path. Oops. And we want it to be the home page. So we'll just leave double quotation marks. And we want it to go to views.home. And let's name this, oops, comma, name this home. And comma. All right, so if we save that, yeah, I think that's all. So let's head back over to our terminal and type in Python manage.py run server. And then go back to our browser and click reload. And okay, it's starting to work. Now we need to make a quick change to our home.html file. So pull back up our code, go to, close that, go to our templates, home.html, and we need to change where the style sheet is. So let's go embedded Django, embedded Python, I suppose. And we want this to be static, and then css-style.css, and get rid of this. And then at the top of this page, we need to load our static. So again, with these, let's just go load static. And then down here where the image is, we got to find that. And that looks like right here, headshot. Do the same thing. Boom, boom. We want static, images, and headshot.jpg. And get rid of this. And okay, so save this. Now we also need to make a real quick change to our settings.py file, which is in our original Django resume directory. And then down here at the bottom, where it has the static URL, we need to tell it where our static directory is. So go static files _ dirs equals, and then we want a Python list. And inside of here, we want to go os.path.join, and then base _ dir, and then whatever we called that file or that folder, which was static. All right, so save this. Let's head back to our site and give it a quick reload. Aha, it worked. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get rid of this image. I've got one already. So I'm gonna come over here to our image headshot.jpg. I'm gonna delete it. And instead, I'm gonna create a new file again and go to File, Save As. Now I've got these saved in my own directory here, so I'm just gonna grab this and pull it over and then cancel. You can see it popped up. So we can come back here and hit reload to confirm, and whoa, very slowly it has popped up. Okay, so we've got our template file. Now we need to tinker with the CSS because there's some things about this that I don't like. So let's pull up, let's close this. Pull up our style.css, and let's just look through here real quick. First, I want to change that background color. This dark color I don't like. I'm going to change it to D2, 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 which is sort of gray. So I'm going to save this, and let's hit a reload real quick. And okay, now it's gray, and that's cool. Now I don't like this color here, and I'm not sure what kind of color this is. So I'm going to open up Photoshop real quick. You can use any editing software you use. You can use GIMP, it's free. And I'm going to hit the print screen button on my keyboard, and then just create a new file over here and paste this in. And if we sort of zoom in, we can use our eyedropper, and then here's the color it pops up, and we can see this is the color right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and head back over to our Sublime text editor or style.css and hit Control F to search. I'm just going to search for this color, right? Now, it's going to show up a bunch of times, and I'm just going to change it to a color that I do like. And I like this 003660. It's just that sort of blue. And let's come down here and click Find Again, and it pops up again. So we'll replace that. Find Again, it pops up again. And why is it showing up more than once? Well, I'll show you in just a second here. Okay, click Find Again. It doesn't show up again. So let's go ahead and save this. It's showing up more than once because we have more than one instance of it. So for instance, this little border here, that's its own CSS style thing. These colors, they're their own CSS style thing. So it's going to show up several times in the CSS file. So now if we hit reload, boom, it's blue. All right, that's looking better. Now, notice when we hit reload, it takes forever for this thing to load. I think that's really, really stupid. We want websites to load instantly these days, or close to instantly. And it's a cool effect, but it's just kind of dumb in my mind. So I'm going to look through here for, I don't know what that thing is. Fade, maybe? I don't remember from the last time we did this video. Fade in, okay. So nothing there. Fade in, nothing there. Insta fade, that's probably it. And we have these timestamps here. Duration, 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to change this to 0.5. And every time I see a fade in, I'm just going to change it to 0.5. And we keep looking. Here's a 2.5. That's 2.5 seconds. That's really long. Let's get rid of that. And that. Here's a bunch of 0.5s already. Delay 3. Okay. I'll do that. And 2 seconds to delay 5. I don't know what these are, so we'll change that. Okay, so let's save this and just come back here and hit reload, and boom, it loads much quicker, but it still kind of has that fading effect. It's a 0.5 second. Okay, pretty good. So now you just need to come through here and change all this stuff. And how do you do that? Well, we come back over to our home.html file. Where are we at? Inside templates, pull it up. And you just need to kind of come through here, and you don't need to know CSS or HTML to do this. You can figure this out, right? So just look through here. Right here, we have Alan Smith in an alt tag. So change that to your name. John Elder. Up here, there's a meta tag. So we're going to change this to John Elder. And then just come through here and look. So here it says Joe Blogs. Let me change this to John Elder. Let's go founder codemy.com. You know, change all this stuff. John at Codemy. And I don't like to have my website or my email address linkable. So I'm going to take out this link and just put it as text. And I'm going to put this thing here to sort of confound the spammers. And also, I don't like this E, W, and M thing. That's kind of dumb, right? So let's change this to johnelder.com. Put your phone number. And then just come through here. And so here's your personal profile, right? Here's that paragraph of text right there. And that corresponds to this. Then we come down to work experience, right? Work experience, job title, text. Just go through here and change all these things. And we come down here to key skills. You can see these LIs, these are each a skill, right? So that's these guys right here. So go ahead and just change all this stuff. Now I've already done this, so I'm going to, instead of making you watch me fill in all this stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this file. And right click and create a new file, and file save as, just to open the dialog box. And like I said, I've got this already saved, so I'm just going to pull it over and then cancel. So now if we come back here and hit reload, it didn't save. Let's try that again. Templates. Oh, it saved it as index. We need to rename it. home.html. Okay. Pull it up and all right. So you could see, got my work experience. Now I added a whole other section. How did I do that real quickly? I'll just show you. Come down here and find the section you want to duplicate. So say work experience. And you'll notice at the top it has section tags. And then down at the bottom, there's another section tag, a closing section tag. So you can just copy all of this, right click and copy, and then just come below it and right click and paste, and it'll paste in another section. Then you just go through and modify it however you want it. In my case, I changed the title to published books. If you had a website or if you have a portfolio of projects you've worked on, you might put a coding portfolio or something and then list your coding projects you've worked on. That'd be pretty cool. One other thing I did was to add some BRs between each article and at the bottom of each section, just to give it a little more spacing between each one. It's just personal preference. You could do that or not. And I should mention my code's going to be on GitHub for this. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to call this done. So this is very easy and very quickly we've created this website and it's looking pretty good. So now we need to set up version control. So go to codemy.com/git and we're going to set up Git so we can do version control so that we can push our code up to Heroku. So I'm just going to copy each of these one by one, and I'm going to break out of our server. Let's clear the screen. I'm just going to paste in each of these and add my name. So that's the first one. You have to do this when you set up Git version control the first time. You only have to do it once per project. So john@codemy.com. But I can never remember these, so I just copy and paste them from this website that I threw up. It's just easier that way. Okay, and then two more. So copy and right click paste. And then finally the last one, git init, to initialize Git on our computer. Paste. And we see this little master guy here, so we know Git has been turned on. So let's add all of our code to our Git repository. So git commit -am, let's call this initial commit. Okay, so now we need to install one more thing before we can push this up to Heroku. We need something called the Heroku Toolbelt. So go to Google and just type in Heroku Toolbelt. And let's see, here it is, devcenter.heroku.com/articles/Heroku-CLI. CLI stands for Command Line Interface. And you just want to come down here and download it for your computer, Windows, Mac, or Linux. So download that, install it. When you install it, you need to restart Git Bash, the terminal. So close it, open it back up again, come back into your Django resume folder. Make sure your virtual environment is turned on, so you'll need to turn it back on again. But then you can type in Heroku-V, and if a version number comes up, that means Heroku has been installed correctly. If not, it means you haven't done it right and you need to do it again. So now we need to create some SSH keys so that we can connect to Heroku from our terminal. So let's go mkdir, and we want to go ~/.ssh. Now we need to change into that directory, so cd ~/.ssh, and the dot makes it a hidden directory. So we type in ls, we can see that directory is empty, so let's clear the screen. So now we need to create an SSH key. So we go ssh-keygen.exe. And if you're on a Mac, that command is going to be slightly different. You can Google how to generate SSH key on a Mac, and you'll see the command that you need to use. I can't remember it offhand. So where do we want to save this? We want to save it right here. Enter a password. We don't want a password, so just hit enter. Enter the password again. We don't want a password, so click enter, and boom, it's been created. So now we can type in ls, and we can see these two files have been created. This is our id_rsa.pub. That's our SSH key that we're going to use for Heroku, and we're good to go. So now we need to change back into that directory we've been working at. That's Django resume, I believe. and we see the venv, so we're in that directory, or we're in our virtual environment is still turned on. So ls, okay, so now we need to move into that second Django directory, and we can see master, so we know we're in the right place. Oops. So now we need to log into Heroku. So let's go Heroku login. Press any key to open a web browser. Click the thing to log in. If you don't have a Heroku account, you need to sign up for one. I think they ask you for your credit card, but they're not going to charge you for anything. But especially if you're using a domain name, they require that you have a credit card on file. Don't worry, they're not going to charge you anything, but you do need to do that. Okay, so it looks like we're logged in. So head back over to our terminal. Yep, we're logged in. Hit Control-C to break out of this, and yes. Okay, so now we need to add our Heroku or SSH keys to Heroku. So let's go Heroku keys : add, and it looks like it's found them. Do we want to upload them? Yes. So it's uploading. Done. Hit Control-C to break out of this. Okay, you just have to do that with git bash. You always have to break out when you're doing Heroku things. It's weird. So okay, now we need to create a new app called Heroku. Well, actually, before we do that, there's a whole bunch of stuff we need to do to our app to make it sort of usable on Heroku before we push it up to Heroku. So let's do that real quick. Let's see. First, we need a proc file. And a proc file just tells Heroku what our app is. So let's go touch proc file. Make sure it's capital P. So that created that. And we can come down here and see here it is. It's been created. So we can open it. Now we just need to type web : Gunicorn and then Django resume.wsgi and go ahead and save. Whoops. Go ahead and save that. What's going on here? Oh, I misspelled Gunicorn. So it's G unicorn, right? And Gunicorn is a web server that Django uses on Heroku. We've just been using the lightweight little web server to run our app locally, but for Heroku, we need to designate a better web server. And then we need to tell it where our project or what our project is, and that's Django resume. And that just comes from right up here. That's what we've called our thing right the very first at the beginning there. So that's cool. So that's the first thing we need to do. Let's see. The next thing, we need to install a few things that Heroku is going to need. So we need to, I'm just going to copy and paste these. I've always got these written down because I can never remember them. Go to our settings.py file, and that's in our original directory that we created, settings.py. And at the top, well, first let's get rid of all these comments. I can't stand comments. Let's see, we want to import three things: Django Heroku, Django decouple, or just decouple, and then DJ database URL. And I'll talk about each of these in a second. But for now, we just need to pip install each of these guys. So let's go pip install Django _Heroku. You can guess what this does. It does a bunch of stuff Heroku requires from Django. All right, clear the screen. Next, we need to do pip install decouple. Looks like maybe I've already got that installed, or we don't have to pip install it. Either way, oops, good to go. Finally, pip install DJ _database _URL. And it looks like that's already been installed as well. So now we can go pip freeze. And we see we have DJ database URL, we've got Django Heroku, we've also got this PsychoPG, which is a Postgres database. Heroku requires Postgres. Now we're not really using database stuff, but Django by default comes with some database stuff, so it's a good idea to have this. We've also got now this white noise thing, which is interesting. We need that. That came with Django Heroku, I believe. Okay, so that's good. Now we need to make a few quick changes to our settings.py file. First, we need to come down here to middleware, and then just under this first guy here, let's add a new thing. Be sure to put your comma. And the thing we need to put is a reference to that white noise thing we just looked at. So that is going to be white noise dot, I spell it right? White noise, yep, dot middleware dot capital white, capital noise, capital middleware. Okay, and then down here at the bottom of the file, below that static stuff we did earlier, we just need to go static files underscore storage equals white noise dot storage dot compressed manifest static files storage. Okay, so that is white noise dot storage dot compressed capital C manifest capital M static capital S files plural capital F S at the end of that, and then storage. Okay, and that what that does is that compresses up all of our CSS and our image files, all of our static stuff, and allows Heroku to do whatever Heroku needs to do with that. Okay, so we also finally need at the very bottom of this file again, so just kind of space over, we need to go Django underscore Heroku dot settings, and then locals, and then boom, boom. Okay, finally, let's see, what else? Oh, this decouple, we really need to, oh, slipped my mind. So we need to go pip install, it's not decouple, it's Python dash decouple. There we go. So that'll do that. What else? Normally we would make a change to the database thing, but we're not doing any database thing, so I think we can get away with not messing with that. Also, normally we would change the secret key right here, but again, we're not doing any database stuff. And so I think we just, and we're not pushing this to GitHub, so I think we could just leave that. Finally, we need a requirements.txt file. So let's just go pip freeze, and then the greater than or less than sign, greater than, whatever that sign is, requirements.txt. And if we look at our text here, we now have this requirements.txt file. And what that does is it just shows all of our PIPP Freeze stuff, all the files we've used in our project, because Heroku needs to know those. Okay, so I think that's it. So now let's save all this stuff to git add. Let's go git commit -am. Did Heroku stuff. I don't know. All right. So now we need to Heroku Create to create a new app. So it's creating an app, and we see here is the app. So we can right click and copy and go back to our browser and paste this in, and there it is. Very cool. Actually not cool at all. Now, if we want to change the name of this, if you don't want to pay for a domain name, we can go Heroku rename and then rename it to something. So you could go Elder Resume maybe. That's already taken. But if it wasn't taken, your new domain name would be elderresume.herokuapp.com. So whatever you name it, that's what it'll be. So I don't really care to do that because we're going to use our own domain name. So we can kind of ignore this part. But if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. So now, let's see, we need to, I guess, push our code to Heroku. So git push Heroku master. This is where we cross our fingers, because if something's going to go wrong, it'll go wrong here. I may have forgotten something. I always forget stuff whenever I'm pushing code to Heroku from Django, because there's so many requirements that Heroku requires. You can see right here, you notice it's installing SQLite 3 because our settings.py file has SQLite 3 in it. Normally I would get rid of that, but since we added that, what was it? DJ database URL, that will change it to that psychopg, which is Postgres, and it should, yeah, you can see right here, it's installing psychopg for us automatically. So we're good to go there. Ooh, compressing. Looks like proc file has been found. Compressing, launching. Exciting. Deployed. And come on. Done. All right, so let's go back to our app here and click reload. Uh-oh. We got an error. Let's go Heroku logs to see what the error could be. All right, so let's see. App crash, get path, connect service. Let's just go Heroku restart. Try this again. Still an error. Git push Heroku master. Everything's up to date. All right. Oh, Gunaccord. Did I not save that file? I misspelled it in our proc file. I must not have saved it. So let me save this. And let me git add period, git commit -am fixed proc file. Git push Heroku master. So this is actually great. So if you do have a problem, you want to come back here and type in Heroku logs and then just read through here and try and figure out what the error is. We can see I misspelled Gunaccord. I thought I changed it and saved it, but I must not have saved that file. So other than that, hopefully that will do the trick. So we're compressing, done, we're launching, deployed. Let's come back here and hit reload, cross our fingers. Come on, come on. Oh, another error. All right, let's reload this one more time. All right, still an error. So come back here again, Heroku logs. Bash Gunaccord command not found. Did I not pip install Gunaccord? I must have forgot to install Gunaccord. That's weird. All right, so let's go pip freeze requirements.txt. But first, let me look at my requirements.txt file. Yeah, sure enough, there's no Gunaccord in there. I must have forgot to put Gunaccord to install Gunaccord. Okay, well. So that will update our requirements.txt file. Now if we come back here, there's Gunaccord. Okay, so one more time, git add period, git commit -am. I'm just going to type in Gunaccord and git push Heroku master. Usually I'm pretty good with Heroku with other technologies, Ruby on Rails, Node, PHP specifically, especially. But Django, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts that you have to do, a lot of things you need to do to your app to make it compatible with Heroku. I have a list, but this time I just sort of didn't read it very quickly, or didn't read it very well. Kind of tried to brush through it and see we're getting errors. So it happens. So now let's hit reload. All right, boom. Now, this is very interesting, right? If you'll notice, this looks different than this. So what's going on here? Well, if we right click and view the page source and look at our static CSS file, there's also this other CSS file, and it's a style sheet and it's linked to Google Fonts, it looks like. So if we click on this, instead of viewing the source, I'm just going to view the actual page. For some reason, Heroku doesn't like this. So I'm going to select all of this and Control-C to copy, or you can just right-click and copy. And then I'm going to head over to our style.css sheet, And at the bottom of this, I'm just going to paste in all that code, right? So if we save this, now we need to save this to our version control. So git add period, git commit -am, and we want to tweaked CSS, git push Heroku master, pushing it up. And I'm not really sure why this does this. This has happened to me before with Heroku and using external style sheets for some reason. It's probably just an internal Heroku setting that you can tweak or something. I'm not really sure. But this will actually fix it. And it's a lot easier than digging through the Heroku settings and trying to figure out what's going on there. So I just do it this way. So, all right, so we're launching, compressed, deployed. Okay, so it looks like we're done. So let's come up here and hit reload and boom, done. So, okay, we're pretty much done here. Now we need to make this work with a domain name. So head over to Heroku, log into your account, and find your app. You can see I've got 3 pages of apps. So let's see, this one was called Morning Plains something. So let's see, page 2 it looks like. Morning Plains, there it is. So click on it and then click on settings and then scroll down till you see add domain. And I already own a domain name. It is elderresume.com. So we can just add this and click save changes. Now you'll have to have added your credit card, I think, in order to do that. But again, they're not going to charge you anything for this on the free tier, so don't worry about it. Okay, so that's that. So now we need to go to our registrar. And I use Namecheap to get my domain names. Whatever registrar you use, this will be slightly different. And I'm not sure what your domain registrar you're using. You might be using GoDaddy, you might be using Google Domains. I like Namecheap. They're the cheapest I've ever found, and they're just a really good company. So at Namecheap, this is how you do it. If you use a different registrar, you're gonna have to Google how to add domain to Heroku from GoDaddy. Google that or something like that, and you'll find a tutorial. For us, I just go to my domain name, Elder Resume, click on Manage, and then we want to change the advanced DNS. So I've already done this in the last video, so we can see this. Normally, you would add a new record, and then you want it to be a CNAME record, and then we want this to be www. And then for the target, just come back to our URL from Heroku and just copy, not the HTTPS part, just the actual URL itself. So I'm going to copy this and head over here, and then right here in target, I'm just going to paste that in and make sure you put a period behind it, right? And then instead of automatic, I'm going to change this to 1 minute just so it updates quickly. Okay, so now it will take up to a couple hours or longer to propagate through the internet to make sure this works. One trick I found that sort of speeds it up on my local computer is go to my Windows Start menu, type in CMD, C as in cat, M as in, I don't know, M, and D as in dog. And then this will bring up the command prompt. And you could just type in ipconfig/flush DNS. This will flush your computer's DNS, and it will, the next time you go to a website, the DNS will be flushed, so it will connect to a DNS server brand new, and hopefully then it will see the updated DNS of your new domain name. And so now we can type in elderresume.com, and hopefully, boom, it has worked, and we're good to go. So that's pretty much it, right? This was ridiculously simple, not quite as simple as with Node, because Django is just a little bit more complicated in some areas, but still, we're about an hour or so into this, a little less, and it was very, very simple. Now, again, this is a very basic website. There's no database stuff. It's just one page. If it was 5 pages or 10 pages, if they're all static pages, none of this would have changed. The only way this changes is if you're using databases, then it becomes a little bit more complicated with Heroku, but really not that much more complicated. We just need to make a couple more changes in our settings.py file to allow for using databases. And I have courses on that explain that if you're interested in learning that. you can check out codemy.com. I think I have a course that's specifically called How to Push Django Projects to Heroku, and it'll teach you exactly how to do that. But for basic websites, it doesn't get much easier than that, and very cool. So this is the second video in the series, Build a Website With. And in this one, obviously, we did Django and Python. In the previous one, we did Node and JavaScript. If you want to check that out, the link will be in the comments below, the playlist for this series. And the next one, I think we'll do Ruby on Rails. That should be fun. So that'll be next week sometime. Check back for that. And be sure and smash the bell button so you're notified whenever I release new videos. I release 3 or 4, try to release at least 2 or 3 or 4 videos a week. So that's cool. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. You pay just $27 to access all my courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. That's a one-time fee, nothing more to ever pay. You get all my future courses included. They just show up every time I release them for one insanely small price of $27 if you use that coupon code. So my name is John Elder from codemy.com. We'll see you in the next video.